I want to talk about digestion/absorption. They're two totally different things. One occurs first, primarily digestion, and then there's absorption. There's an old adage that says you are what you eat. Nah, it came close but didn't hit the bullseye. In fact, you are what you absorb. And so we have to make sure good digestion is taking place. We have to make sure that good absorption is taking place. Well, let's start with digestion. Digestion, of course, begins in the mouth, where amylase, it's a sugar and carbohydrate digesting enzyme, is produced in the saliva, and it breaks down long-chain carbohydrates and sugars into simple carbon sugars, simple sugars, okay? And that way they're more easily absorbed. Then, of course, you get down in the stomach. Ideally, you're going to have a stomach environment of a pH of below 2, like 1.2, 1.5, 1 being the most acid in our body, and 14 being the most alkaline, and 7 being neutral. You do not want to let your stomach environment get above 2.0, okay? If you get above 2.0, what happens is yeast and bacteria begin to grow in there. You get moving up towards the neutral, towards 7, 4, 5. You get up into 4 and 5. Yeast and bacteria just growing like crazy because it's warm, it's dark, it's moist, and you're dumping food on it 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 times a day. And so yeast and bacteria will just really grow, and they cause things like heartburn because you get pressure and bloating in the stomach, pushing the diaphragm pushes against the heart. It's called heartburn. And then you get reflux. It is not acid reflux. Whoever started that should be thrown in jail. It's not acid reflux. Because they call it acid reflux, all the pharmaceutical industry is killing more Americans than ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all the foreign enemies in the world put together. Okay, that's because you're not going to be able to absorb much or resist reflux if you have a pH in your stomach above 2. You've got to be 1.2, 1.5, about in there. When your stomach is sterile, no yeast, no bacteria, so reflux goes away. So when you have reflux, what I want you to do is get on a gluten-free diet, absolutely drop-dead gluten-free diet, absolutely, I need you to salt your food to taste because the chloride part of the sodium chloride in salt is the raw material for your chief cells to make stomach acid. And when you have stomach acid, not only does it sterilize your stomach, but also it helps things that require an acid environment work. For instance, pepsin, the enzyme your stomach produces to digest proteins and amino acids so they can be absorbed and then restructured in your body to make human-type proteins, whether it's from grain or from rabbits or from deer or from beef or chickens or eggs or whatever, or so on. The pepsin requires an environment of below 2, 1.2, 1.5 to function properly. You cannot absorb B12 if your pH of your stomach is above 2. You've got to be 1.2, 1.5, because the Castle's intrinsic factor, which is a substance that's produced by the stomach that is required to combine with the vitamin B12 to be able to absorb it. No active intrinsic factor, no absorption of B12. Even if you're eating 5 pounds a day, then you got to wind up going to the doctor's office once a month for a B12 shot. Then you're in real trouble because he's going to find some way to do more. Well, we got to do we got to do a GI series. We got to do a colonoscopic exam. We have to send you to the hospital for a whole range of tests, and he'll kill you and run up the bill. Okay, so you do not want to have those tests. You can do these things yourself. Okay, we'll get into that another time. You can do all the tests he does for less than $5. He'll charge you anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000. Right? You can do them yourself. Get a hold of that book, Epigenetics: The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. Get hold of the trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, the Passport Aromatherapy, and learn how to deal with all these tests. You can do every test the doctors do. You can go to a pharmacy without a prescription and get all these test strips and do them yourself, including a colonoscopic exam equivalent of the occult blood test and the FIT test, an acronym for fecal immunochemical test. Then, let's see here. Then there's more digestion. The pancreatic juice comes down and digests proteins, digests sugars, digests carbohydrates and fats. And then you start absorbing things in through your intestine. Now, if you're eating gluten and you're gluten intolerant, which 70% of Americans are gluten intolerant, over time you're going to gradually lose 75 to 85% of your absorptive surface. And you're going to wind up, especially if you're then taking antacids because you have reflux, not acid reflux, you're going to be in real trouble. You'll wind up with 25 diseases in the next 10 years because you can't absorb these nutrients, even if you're supplementing with them. I just talked to a lady who's supplementing with large doses of minerals, but through hair tests and blood tests and urine tests, they couldn't find any minerals because she wasn't absorbing them because she's taking antacid because she was eating gluten when she should be off of gluten. So anyway, these doctors somebody needs to go to jail. There's actually a DVD out by that same title, Somebody Needs to Go to Jail. I'd urge you to get a hold of that DVD. It's my most recent presentation. It's a year ago, but it's the most recent one that's been actually put into a DVD. I actually have a newer one coming out here in the next 3 months. It's called Epigenetics. It goes along with the Epigenetics book, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And I'm so excited about this because this is going to add 25 to 50 healthier years to your life. Just getting this information in the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. It goes very carefully through digestion. It goes very carefully through absorption. If you already have the book Hell's Kitchen, if you already have the book Rare Earth Bin Cures, you already have the book Medical Doctor, you're going to know a lot about digestion. But don't forget the newest one, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And you're going to know more than all the doctors in America combined. I mean, that is scary. Not the fact that you know it, but the fact that they don't. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with more truth, justice, and the longevity way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, we got Billy sitting in today for Doug. Billy, welcome, and what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, thank you, Doc. I think I've got a good one for you because it illustrates something you've been talking about for years. You know, doctors, we always bang on doctors when they don't do it right. But for years you've been saying that doctors, you know, if they followed the old school way of doing it, if they were proper diagnosticians, if they followed the protocols of medicine, they would probably do their patients a lot better job, and they'd do a lot better job for medicine in general. And so off the bat, I'm going to do this. Now, the good fanfare is for both you, for pointing all this out all these years, and for Dr. Allan Ropper, who is a neurosurgeon at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm talking about him today because he was featured on National Public Radio this morning. He is a brain doctor who doesn't use machines, unless he has to diagnose what's wrong with his patients. He instead listens to them. He asks them simple questions, he observes their responses, and he tries to figure out what's going on with them. He's actually being a doctor. And for example, he'll ask a brain patient to repeat a phrase, a simple phrase. No ifs, buts, or ands. And can you say that? And then if the patient doesn't read it back right, then he knows what's going on, what part of the brain isn't working right, what part of the brain might have lost blood flow during a stroke and whatnot. And he's training. The cool thing about this doctor is he's training his residents in the same techniques. Simple things like sitting at the bedside and not relying on MRIs and CT scans and all of that stuff. Instead, he'll ask a patient to raise his leg, and then he'll ask the patient to raise the other leg and see what happens to the first leg when he raises the second leg. And that gives him an indication as to what's going on with the patient, whether he's actually got a problem or maybe it's not so much a medical problem as a thinking problem. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he goes on and on and on about this in this story on National Public Radio, but I thought of you, Doc, when I heard this morning while I was getting ready to come to work. This guy's a real doctor.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and we thank you for pointing that out. We do want to recognize when good doctors are good doctors. Unfortunately, they're far and few between. And so what you may want to do is why don't you go ahead and email this guy and see if he and I can't do something together here, because we'll save a lot of lives if we could. Unfortunately, we got all these medical schools. We got over 1 million licensed medical doctors in America, and he and I have a lot of work to do. So why don't you go ahead and email him for me and see if we can't connect with this guy, and maybe we can save a few more people, okay?
I'll do that. It just seems to me that, and by the way, Doc, just so I'm telling you and the rest of the audience on the air, if I ever have a brain problem, call this guy for me, will you?
After you talk to me.
Yeah, after I talk to you, of course. But seriously, I want a doctor who actually, is talking back to me and getting my responses and not just looking at a chart and ordering a CT scan. That ain't going to work.
We have a lot of patients with brain problems. They're all politicians. We got a lot of work to do.
I think that might be a different kind of a problem, though.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought I wanted to point that out because there are so few doctors now that with the way the medical thing is set up, they only have a certain amount of time with each patient. It's
Yeah, well, he's probably the only medical doctor in America who practices in that fashion today. All the ones who used to do that are long gone, and it's just a terrible, unfortunate problem that medical doctors sending people into hospitals for tests because they don't know what to do what this guy does. Kill 15,000 seniors every month, $180,000 a year just from screening tests because they don't know how to ask the question. So let's save America. Get a hold of the book, Epigenetics, The Death of Genetic Disease Transmission. Thank you, Billy. Good one. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Billy, where are we going here for our first caller?
All right, let's head to sunny Florida, and we'll talk to Sandra. Sandra, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Sandra, you're on the air.
Yes, doctor, yes.
How can we help you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my pastor wife, she have dialysis. She have a heart problem. She have neuropathy. What can I get for that? And I have
okay, do you know what her heart problem is? There's 4 or 5 different types. Do you know which one it is?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's see here. There's a congestive heart failure. There's cardiomyopathy heart disease. There is cardiovascular disease where you get obstructive artery disease, coronary artery disease of the heart. And then, of course, there's people who had coronary thrombosis or blood clots in the coronary artery. So let's kind of look at them all. And let's look at dialysis. When you have dialysis problems, there's nothing wrong with your kidneys. In most cases, 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time, there's nothing wrong with the kidney when you have dialysis. It's a vascular problem where the little afferent arteries, 10,000 times smaller than the diameter of your hair, are plugged. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe she's got plugged arteries in her heart, too, because it's caused by the same thing, eating inflammatory foods, fried foods, oils. All that's got to stop. Got to change her diet. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, barley, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. All that's got to go. And then, do you have any idea how much she weighs, Sandra? Do you know how big a woman she is?
She's heavy, but I don't know what.
Oh, if she's heavy, let's say 200 pounds. Let's say 200 pounds. So I don't care if it's 170 to 220. Let's just say 200 pounds. So I'd give her 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month that allow her to have 1 of the Ultimate Slims at breakfast and dinner, 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Ontane Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. All that would be accomplished by the 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Specifically for the dialysis, I'd have her get 2 bottles of the Ultimate Daily tablets per month, 9 a day, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're designed to support healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries and deal with high blood pressure. Also, for the neuropathy, I'd have her get 2 bottles of the glucogel capsules per month so she could have 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. And then call me every couple of weeks. I want to know what her creatinine level is so I can judge how well she's improving her kidney function. I want to know any kind of heart measurements, pulse, blood pressure, any blood enzymes for the heart, and so on. And let me know about her neuropathy. She'll be able to tell you that. Sometimes when she has a heart problem, she's got neuropathy. It's actually not a heart problem. It's a back problem. And so the Ultimate glucogel capsules, which are going to deal with the neuropathy, might also help with a heart problem because sometimes we have AFib, atrial fibrillation, tachycardia, rapid heart rate. There's nothing wrong with the heart. It's really a back problem. So this is going to cover all possibilities here. Okay? Give me a call every couple of weeks. Let me know how your friend's doing. Well, stick with us, folks. We're going to be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Billy, let's go to callers.
All right, Doc, let's head to sunny Midland, Texas, and Janetta, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Janetta, we're on the air.
Hello, Doc. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How can I help you?
Good. Just this weekend, I told you I was going to give you a call just to let everybody know how blessed I have been by your products and knowing that you helped me reverse a cancer diagnosis I received last year.
Wow. Well, what type of cancer did you have?
Well, at first they misdiagnosed me with a normal cyst, so-called normal cyst, and that was in last February, and that went from normal cyst.
Is that an ovarian cyst?
Breast.
Okay.
Normal breast cyst, and it went from that to stage 3B breast cancer in August. So I was introduced to you by one of my friends, and you immediately got me started on the products, and it reversed to triple negative to now absolutely not one trace of cancer in my body.
Do they do more than one test?
Oh, yeah.
What do the doctors say? Can they believe it?
They can't believe it. They're still scratching their heads. They can't believe it.
Cool. Congratulations, and thank you so much for the testimonies. So I know you have another question. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. A friend of mine just was diagnosed with stage 2A breast cancer. She's had 4 rounds of TC and a round of carboplatin and Taxol and carboplatin, and her tumors have only grown. She's had 2 breast tumors and 1 lymph node involvement under her arm, and she just recently switched to MD Anderson last week, and they even found more lymph nodes under her arm with clavicle bone, under her clavicle bone involvement as well.
Okay. Well, how much does she weigh?
She weighs 191 pounds. She said she's gained weight even during the treatments, of course.
Okay. Well, you know what I would do? I would give her exactly the same thing you're getting.
That's what I told her you would say, probably.
Okay, so tell us what you're getting.
What you have me on is, give me 1 minute because I'm on a lot of stuff. You put me on 2 healthy heart and brain packs per month. Also, some Z-Radical, Cell Shield, RTQ. I think
any Ocean's
some selenium. Gold? Of course, you put me on selenium 3 tablets 3 times a day. Of course, off of the 10 bad foods. I've done that. No, I don't think you put me on Ocean's Gold.
Okay, good.
What else? Some triple treat chocolate every now and then.
Well, that's good. It could be either triple treat chocolate or the Cell Shield RTQ. One or the other. Get your ROIC points above 100,000. I would have her do exactly what you're doing, and let her know the importance of the getting rid of the bad foods. Okay.
Okay, I will.
Thank you, dear, and give us an update on yourself and your friend every month, will you?
Okay, Doc. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We'll be back after these messages.
All right, Doc, let's head to New York, and we'll talk to Martin. Martin, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
I need to talk to you about my wife. I also got a cold, so I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
She recently had a full hysterectomy, and she was turned down for that surgery in New York because of her health. She went to Cancer Treatments of America. She was in there for 2 weeks, and $300,000 later through the insurance, she had a hysterectomy. She almost didn't make it. The kidney doctor down there wants to remove one of her kidneys for a 2-centimeter, most likely, she says it is, cancer on her tumor, and it's on the outside of her kidney, on the rounded part, not near any of the plumbing, whatever you call it. And she wants to cut a 1.5-foot hole in the side of her, and I said, no, if they'd done that surgery, she wouldn't have made it. I think she wanted a new Mercedes.
Okay,
anyway.
Well, I mean, they say because of your wife's condition, so obviously she's ill and fragile. Does she have any other disease? Does she have diabetes or high blood pressure, or
both?
Why is she frail?
Well, she just went to the store. She can get out and go shop and do whatever she wants, but she has sugar diabetes, high blood pressure. They thought she was a risk.
Okay, she does have. I'm sorry, she does have diabetes.
Yes, and high blood pressure.
And high blood pressure.
She's had a weight problem all her life. She's probably
How much does she weigh?
Pounds.
How much does she weigh?
Around 250. She's 5 feet tall.
Okay, 5 foot tall. Okay. All right. Does she have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis?
On and off on her legs. They've been giving her type of cream treatments.
Okay, now, do you have a diagnosis? Is it eczema or psoriasis or what?
I forgot what they called it. They give her some tropical cream, which seems to take care of it, but then it comes back.
It relieves the symptoms, okay. Does she ever have any respiratory problems, any asthma, bronchitis, anything like that?
OPD.
Okay. COPD. Okay, Char, this is a Char problem.
Yeah, she's got a gluten intolerance. That's why she's sick and frail, and because she's coming down with all kinds of things because she can't absorb.
Very good. You get an A+ on that one, girl. Yep, and that's why she can absorb calories. That's why she's 125 pounds overweight, maybe 150 pounds overweight if she's only 5 foot tall. And basically, what would you do for her, Char? She got a weight problem. She got high blood pressure. She got diabetes.
Well, I would put her. She really should be on almost 3 of the healthy blood sugar packs, and then for the heart problem, she needs to add selenium and Ultimate Daily.
Okay. And let's see here. What else would you throw in case this kidney tumor is a real tumor?
Then I would give her the Ocean's Gold, I said selenium already.
Yep.
And Fucoid Z.
Okay.
And then she needs to take, the Triple Treat chocolate and or the Cell Shield RTQ.
Perfect. Okay, so here we go. Shar said it exactly right. I'd have your wife take 3 of the healthy blood sugar packs per month. That would have her take 12 of the Sweeties a day, 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, 4 at dinner. She'd be able to take 3 ounces a day of the OsteoFX Plus, 1 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's going to support not only her bones and everything, but also support healthier blood pressure. Then I want her to have 2 scoops 3 times a day of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0. Then 3, let's see here, I'd have her take 3 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily, so she could have, I know she could get away with 2. I want her to take 12 of the Ultimate Daily tablets a day, 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, 4 at dinner. It'll be 2 bottles a month, the Ultimate Daily. Again, that's to support kidney function, blood pressure, and I'd also have her take, what would you do for the weight loss, Shar?
ASAP, of course.
ASAP. I'd have her get 2 bottles a month of the ASAP, and have her take a dropper full under her tongue 30 minutes before each meal, and a dropper full under her tongue 15 minutes before each meal. There'll be 2 dropperfuls before each meal. And then because she has a kidney tumor, also, as Shar said, the Ocean's Gold, 3 of those 3 times a day, 3 bottles a month, and then either 6 of the Triple Treat chocolate a day, and she can switch off the Cell Shield RTQ. Yeah, let's do the Cell Shield RTQ thing or the chocolate, and she can switch off the Cell Shield RTQ. I'd have her take 5 3 times a day. Okay, so she's going to have to get about 6 bottles because those are tiny little bottles, only 60 capsules. So she's going to need 5 3 times a day. So she's a big girl. And as she loses weight, she gets down to 200 pounds. We'll be able to cut everything by a third. And then when she gets down to 125 pounds, we'll be able to cut it down by half again. And, of course, we want her to take her fasting blood sugar 2 or 3 times a day, certainly before she medicates herself. And as she gets her blood sugar down below 100, without medication for every day for a week, she's an ex-diabetic, but she needs to stay on these programs. And as she gets down to these certain weight plateaus, then she can begin to reduce the amounts. And she's going to wind up being one of our poster girls here. And that spot on her kidney does need to be monitored in case it is a tumor. Okay, we need to know that, but we're kind of covering that direction too. Okay, Billy, let's go to callers.
All right, Doc, let's head to Kentucky. And Rudy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Rudy, you're on the air. Hello, Rudy, you're on the air.
Hi, sir. How you doing? I've got a couple situations. 2 years ago, I had open heart surgery. I had a...
and what did you have? Wait a minute. What kind of surgery? Did you have bypass or stents or both or what?
No, I had aortic aneurysm that was patched, and also the aortic valve had to be replaced.
Okay.
The heart was clean as far as when they went in, said everything looked good. Came through it great, and have just been suffering with high blood pressure, whereas I'm about 9 meds a day to get it down to about a pulse of 66, and blood pressure currently is running about 135 over 71.
And that's with 9 medications?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you have white, gray, or silver hair?
It's blonde hair, starting to turn a little silver.
Okay. Now, do you have any skin problems?
I've got a little bit of rosacea on the face, in which I take doxycycline for.
Okay. Okay, stop there.
Okay.
Let's see. And what do you weigh, sir?
I weigh 270 after my surgery.
Okay, and how tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, so you're 70 pounds overweight, I would guess. We're going to run out of time here in a moment, but Char, why don't you go ahead and start? What would you do for Rudy?
Oh, boy, he needs 3 healthy healthy start packs, because he's got high blood pressure, which he needs to take the Ultimate Daily for that. And he also has a gluten problem, obviously, because of the rosacea.
Okay, we got to run to one of those message moments. So we come back, Char and I will get your program ready for you. So get your pen and paper ready here, Rudy, because Char and I will be back. Let's go right back to Kentucky and Rudy. All right. So let's see. Char is quite correct. What I would do, 270 pounds, and I would go. The quickest way to say it is 3 of the healthy brain and heart packs per month. That would allow you to have, as Char said, 3 selenium 3 times a day, 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus 3 times a day, 2 scoops of Beyond Tangerine 2.0 3 times a day, 3 of the EFA Pluses 3 times a day, 3 of the EFAs 3 times a day. All that would be accomplished by the 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. But also have you take, because you have had aortic valve problems, aneurysms, I'd throw in 9 of the Immortalium a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. That'll be 2 bottles a month of the Immortalium, and that's going to help with stem cells to kind of help regrow valve and walls of the arteries and everything. And for the high blood pressure, Char is quite correct. I'd have you take 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily tablets, so you can take 12 a day of those, 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, 4 at dinner. That's going to support and promote healthy blood pressure. It's also going to support and promote, again, maintenance repair of the aorta, which has been involved here with the aortic valve and the aneurysm. And let's see here. I would also throw in 2 bottles of the glucogel. 2 bottles of glucogel, because the arteries also have a collagen piece in the wall. The elastic fibers were taken care of with the selenium and so forth, but I would also throw in 2 bottles of the glucogel, so you can actually help rebuild the walls of the aorta. We do this all the time, and I think you'll be very, very happy with that. You should look towards being able to reduce your medication for the high blood pressure, too. All right. I know how much time we have left here, Billy?
About 2 minutes or so.
Okay, 2 minutes. I'm going to let Char hasn't had a chance to speak here for a few days, so I'm going to let her take this. And Char, what would you tell people? You know, we very, very successful event with thousands of Youngevity associates and customers, distributors. It was very, very exciting in Nevada. And so, what did you take away from that meeting? Why do you see so many Youngevity people so excited about the Youngevity program?
I think because, first of all, it's an opportunity to help people with their health, but also help, your bottom line, which is your pocketbook. You're making money an honest way. You're not hurting people because...
Okay. Now, let me ask you, you're right on. Let me ask you a question here. Now, you come from a union family, right?
I'm not a union member, but my husband...
A union family.
Yep,
your husband was a union, what do you call him, a union...
Well, he was a union teamster, but he also was a steward, too.
Yeah, union steward, yeah. So, when you're a good employee, when you work for a company, you're the best employee they've had for 50 years. You can do anything, any job anybody's missing, they pick on you to fill in because you can do anything the place has. When you retire, can you will your job to your kid?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what makes Youngevity such a good way to invest your time?
Because I can build my business up and I can teach my son how to do it, which I'm in the process of doing right now. And when I'm gone, which is going to be a long, long time, but he can take it over then. And
yeah, you can. Your Youngevity business is a willable asset. You can will it to your spouse. You can will it to your children. You can will it to your favorite grandchild.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. And you've had a lot of fun. How long have you been working with me, Char?
It's over 20. It's 20, going on 25 years. It's a long time, a long, long time, and I enjoyed it. It's the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. I've always worked in offices. I've never made a lot of money. My husband used to laugh about my pay. He's not laughing anymore.
Well, he's a kept man now. You buy him a new truck every once in a while.
Yep. So I got the last laugh. It's really funny because he never thought people could make the kind of money that I make. He didn't think it was possible. And now he sees guys that he used to work with, and he tells them I make more money in a month than they make in a year. So.
Oh, okay, good girl. Well, thank you for sharing with that. And it was a great event. Thank you so much, Billy. Billy's been flying it solo. Mostly Doug has a helper, and Billy's been doing all the jobs today. So thank you so much, Billy. Superlative job. God bless each and every one of you. A lot of great testimonies today. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.